We're coming at you live from Fantasy Six Pack World Headquarters. It's the big show. Two Guys, One Roto is proud to present our Fantasy Six Pack Dynasty Mock Draft Startup. Today, I'm joined as always by my co-host, Rich Sayre. Hello, Rich.
Hey, welcome.
And we're also joined by Two Guys, One Roto's special correspondent. They call him the Mo Rocca of Dynasty, of Two Guys, One Roto, of Fantasy Six Pack. Welcome to the end of the show, Scott Shields. Hello, Scott.
Howdy. How are you, gentlemen?
I am spectacular. How are you, sir?
Not bad, not bad.
Rich, I would ask you the same thing, but I just don't care.
Yep.
All right. So what we're going to do, folks, today, pretty simple. We're going to do at least five round Dynasty mock startup, Dynasty mock draft for a startup. Each of us it's a 12-team league, and each of the three of us is controlling three of the teams. That is simple math that all of you could have done on your own. What we're doing is we're doing it through, of course, Fantrax, the number one platform for fantasy sports. If your league is not hosted by Fantrax, you're on the wrong platform. If you want to join Fantrax, go to fantrax.com/fantasy six-pack. Sign up today. You can import all your league settings from whatever horrible platform you're using right now. Very simple rules for today's draft. Nothing complicated. It's a points league draft. And we are each drafting against four teams. And the only rule is that you have to draft at least one infielder, at least one outfielder, and at least one pitcher to each of your four teams. So pretty simple. So without further ado, Scott, do you have anything to add? Rich, do you have anything to add?
No, ready to get going.
So they're not the best co-hosts in the business for nothing, folks. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get rolling. You're going to lose our ugly mugs, and we're going to add a full screen for the mock draft. Here we go. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Scott, you are on the clock. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. You get magic effect. We're getting 3 minutes per pick. Scott, you're rolling.
Huge shock. Shock the world. I'm not going to go where you guys are totally expecting. I am going to be, of course, I'm taking Shohei Ohtani. I mean, what are we talking about?
Here we go. Shohei Ohtani.
In points, fantasy leagues. Doesn't matter what format. Doesn't matter how you get there. It's Shohei. I don't. Do we even need to talk about this?
I don't know. You're the one talking.
You got the most flexibility with that, I think. I think it does matter a little bit. I am always frustrated in leagues where you can only use him at one position or the other, and you get frozen out of the alternate Shohei, because the magic that is Shohei is pitching and hitting. But
yeah, no, one position is definitely boring. Anyway, Rich, you are on the clock here for pick number 2, sir.
Well, I'm gonna go. My Red Sox love is a little bit tingling right now, but I'm gonna have to go with Mr. Judge.
Aaron Judge, okay.
Yeah.
All right, 2 shocking picks to start the draft, folks. Mr. Sayre, you are still on the board, on the clock, whatever you want to call it, for one of your other squads.
I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm not going to get too deep into this. This is the RS1 team, so we'll call this the prime team. I frequently am told that there's not really enough there for one personality, so 4 is going to be a little bit difficult, but we're going to see what we can do. I'm going to take the other New York outfielder. I'm going to take Juan Soto here.
Oh, I thought you were saying you were taking I was going to say Harrison Bader. He doesn't play there anymore. All right. I was going to mention, actually, that you said that one personality is not, is often the stretch. And now I don't remember what my joke was, so never mind. All right. Beta 3 is now up. I think that's Rich. That's you again, dude. You all are out of the fun.
I am just running the table at this draft. And again, not really. We haven't gotten, I don't think, into too many surprises, but I'm going to go Bobby Wood Jr. here.
Okay. So far, we've got chalk, folks. Scott Shields 2, the SS2.
I hate that Rich said that his RS1 is the prime team, because looking just the way draft spots are working out, I think SS2 is actually going to be my prime team,
Okay.
which is going to be captained, emotional leader by the pick that I've been looking forward to. I was hoping I would land right around this spot because I knew this would be the spot and the time to take him. If you saw the beginning of the show, you saw the jersey. You've heard Dave and Rich talk about me being a fan of the best team in Major League Baseball, the Atlanta Braves. So I'm taking my boy, El Abusador, Ronald Acuna Jr.
Hey, fantastic. Ronald Acuna Jr. off the board. And Scott, thank you for reminding me of a joke. You said it was your prime team. Friend of the show, Eric Polsky, would have taken Shedeur Sanders, but we'll carry on.
Nice.
All right. So we have gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outfielder, or excuse me, 5 hitters rather, to start the draft. Or I guess Shohei's both. Shohei's both, right? But so anyway, so with that in mind, I'm gonna go with the reigning American League Cy Young Award winner, Tarik Skubal, for my first pick.
There it is.
There we go, Tarik Skubal. All right, and then backing it up with another pitcher, National League Cy Young Award winners, Paul Skeens from LSU. Go Tigers. So, all right, and then triple picks. Look out, folks. Y'all are in trouble. All right, we're gonna go one more pitcher. Why not? Some people like needlepoint. Some people like knitting. Me, I'm more of a crochet guy. So we're gonna go Garrett.
One of my favorite things about Garrett Crochet, other than the fact that he's very, very good, and I just like the kid, great story and everything, is I want to say, I could be wrong, I want to say in our home league that it may have been one Rich Sayre who a couple of off seasons ago said, Scott, why do you still have Garrett Crochet on your minor league roster?
Well, that might have been because I was frustrated that you did.
So, just what a story of perseverance, of patience. That guy literally sat in my minor leagues for like 3 or 4 years without throwing an inning, with no promise he ever would throw an inning, and now here he is going 8th overall in a fantasy startup draft. So
fantastic. I love the story of perseverance and patience by you in a fantasy league. It's inspiring.
Yes.
Rich, I believe you're up, sir.
I am. This a little bit, starting to get a little bit of your own strategy here, a little bit less chalk. Now, having said that, I'm going to take the top guy on the board. I'm going to go with Jose Ramirez.
That's your watch by him, folks. I am a personal Jose Ramirez lover.
Mr. Lola.
This is where I think, like Rich said, I think it sort of starts to get really, really interesting. There's some picks that jump out at the top of the board here. But I'm actually going to lean a little bit on a couple of things. But one, a famous David Whitcomb-ism, which is defense keeps you on the field long after anything else does. And so of all these names here near the top of the list, I think the production is similar, especially when we're talking points leagues. But the best defender on this list, at least not in Cal Raleigh, no disrespect to him, is Fernando Tatis Jr. A guy that as he that even if at any point there just seems to be somewhat of a skills decline, this is a guy that's going to be playing all the time because he's just so darn good with the glove. I think he has the potential to get the kind of production consistently that would actually put him up in the company of the first 5 picks or so. He hasn't shown it over the last couple of years, but he's still been very, very good. And so I love the guy. I'm again, perseverance and patience, love a good redemption arc. All that pesky steroid and motorcycle and whatever else stuff was going on. It's all in the past. We love we love a redemptive king. So
there you go. So, all right. So, sticking with the defense wins championships mantra, I'm actually going to take a little bit. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm actually going to take a little bit of umbrage with your saying that Tatis was the best defender on the board among the upper echelon players, and go with a different upper echelon player, the dreamy-eyed Julio Rodriguez. He's just an exemplary defender in center field and goes, pretty much 30-30 every year. Hasn't really had that one like monstrous year just yet. But I feel like it's going to come sooner or later. He's, in the words of Sean Fenty, a notorious slow starter. One of these years he's going to put merge the second half production with first half production and win an MVP. Maybe it'll be this year. We'll see. Scott, closing out the first round.
Yeah.
And starting the second.
That's right. Well, so I did a little bit of, kind of ahead of the game prep work. And so the guy that I had next on my list, kind of having looked at this, I'm actually starting to slant towards the whole dynasty aspect. Obviously, this guy's very good already, but maybe as far as current production, hasn't quite shown the ceiling that some of these other guys had, but we know it's in there. He was number 1 overall prospect. So I'm going to go ahead and lock in one young Junior Caminero.
Okay.
Rejecting the online narrative of the fade going back to Tropicana Field.
Yeah, I am interested to see what that ballpark looks like when, rebuilt.
I'm not. I've been there. It's terrible.
Maybe the storm washed away all the crappy stuff and just left the shining pearl underneath.
Did it leave St. Petersburg? Okay, we love the people of St. Petersburg. We're joking. Anyway, Scott, lead us off for the second round, cowboy.
And same thing. Just thinking of young guys. I guess again, if you want to say the SS1 is
Scott.
Do I? Oh yeah. If you want to say the SS1, the one is technically the prime team, then if this was my dynasty team, I would be super stoked to start it off this way. Go with another young guy who's shown that he's got it already and has a lot more room to go. Give me Jackson Chourio.
Interesting. Okay. I see what you're doing there. Jackson Chourio incidentally joins Ronald Acuna Jr. As the only 2 outfielders in Major League history to go over the span of their age 20 and 21 seasons to go 40-40 in those 2 seasons combined.
Amen.
So pretty darn cool. So maybe Jackson Chourio is the next Ronald Acuna Jr., hopefully with better knees. Anyway, all right. So I got Julio with DW1 with the flagship station with the first pick. So we're going to go with another dual action threat, another guy who could win an MVP award in any given year, and we're going to go Ellie De La Cruz.
There you go. Fernando Tatis Jr. set down the mantle of crazy motorcycle guy, and Ellie picked that up. So,
yep.
Congratulations.
Absolutely. Smart move.
So to pair with that's me. Yeah. So to pair with Tatis, I'm going to go with another guy who has been up, has been down, but even when he's down, he's still very, very good. Younger than you would think because he feels like he's been in the league for forever. But man, can you just set your watch by the production? That is one young. Also, another. I guess this team will be called second generation players. Come on down, Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Nice. Fantastic.
I love it.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. from
the Toronto Blue Jays.
Montreal.
I'm kidding.
Montreal. Well, I got my RS3 team here. Feeling good about my third baseman, and I'm thinking, why don't I just lock down the left side of the infield? I'm going to take a guy I think is going to have a fantastic season, a little bit of a bounce back season. I'm going with shortstop Gunnar Henderson here.
Tense. Okay. Gunnar Henderson of the famous Baltimore Orioles. All right. Moving right along. I took Crochet for the Ubeda 1 team for the flagship station of the Havana Monarchs. So we're gonna run it back on the pitching tip. We're gonna lock this league down on pitching, and go with perhaps not the chalk pick, but the one that I like best, and that's Hunter Brown. So all right. That moves us to the DW2 team. And if there's one thing the DW is known for, it's number 2. So moving right along, we're going to go back to the pitching well. Once again, we got Paul Skeens with our first round pick. We're going to dominate this league with pitching. We are not going to go with the chalk pick. I just wrote them up in my upcoming piece for Fantasy Six-Pack Dynasty starting pitchers. I'm not going to give away where he ranks, but let's suffice to say it's not as high as you might think. So instead, we're going to go with another personal favorite to pair with Paul Skeens. We're going to go with Logan Webb.
Mr. Reliable.
Yep. Leads the majors in innings pitched over the last 5 years.
Fascinating.
So, and then backing it up. Back. DW3. DW3 is sometimes known as Dwayne Wade. But in these parts, it's known as another starting pitcher. And we're going to go Logan Gilbert. So all three of the sandwich teams, so to speak, looking strong on the pitching, on the rubber. Scooble Gilbert, Skeens Webb, Crochet Brown. Good luck putting bat to ball there.
That is interesting. I was really nervous when you kept saying that you were going to take pitchers, because I really wanted to take a pitcher to pair with the best player in baseball, Ronald Acuna Jr., and also avoiding chalk. I thought about pairing Atlanta teammates, but Chris Sale, for as good as he is, I don't know that he's my favorite dynasty pick these days. Yeah. So instead, I'm adding a pitcher to my SS2 team with one of my personal favorites. You know it. Woo! Young Brian Wood.
Okay. Fantastic. Always got to appreciate the wrestling reference amidst a dynasty mock draft.
To be the man, you got to beat the man.
Interesting.
So, all right.
That's me.
You made it through. Yes, this is you, sir. Yes,
Rich. Yep. No worries. Ubeda 3, a little bit concerned with this pitching run, all the yellow here in the middle of the board. So maybe out of a little bit of a panic, we're going to grab Yamamoto.
Okay, perfect.
And, fantastic pitcher. A little concerned about the limited number of starts with the, maybe 6-man rotation. That's probably the only downside there.
I think it's actually, Rich, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it Phantom IL?
That's your thing. I don't think that's an actual thing, but that's a topic for another show.
Yes. Yeah. Incidentally, quick before you make your flagship selection, super quick, Rich. I just discovered today that the Japanese leagues, so the Japanese championship is called the Japan Series, which, way to step out on a limb there, guys. But there's the Pacific League and the Central League, and they are just like the American League and the National League once upon a time, and they have their American League Championship Series, National League Championship Series, except for it's called the Pacific League Climax Series, and the Central League Climax Series. So speaking of climax, bring us there, Rich. What do you got?
Well, that kind of setup might be tough to follow. I was interested in going a direction here. I think I might hold off just a little bit with my prime team here. I like another young-ish outfield phenom, and I'm going to pair him with Juan Soto here. I'm going to go with James Wood.
Okay. Traded for one another, rather. Once upon a time.
Got to unite them if you have a chance.
Yes.
Wow.
There you go.
That's a lot of climax talk for you to be playing with Wood over there.
No doubt. Woo! It's not steamy in here, folks. RS2, what do you got?
So we got the Judge team here. You can maybe afford to take a little bit of a risk. I don't love the board so much here. Let's see.
It's a good thing we're in the second round out of 5 and you already don't love the board.
Well, there's a lot of ways you can go. There doesn't seem to be an option that's really calling my name at this moment, which is great for 21 minutes into the show. But I think I'm gonna go with this pick. I'm gonna buck the counter trend a little bit, and I'm gonna go with Nick Kurtz here.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, Nick Kurtz.
Nick Kurtz, famous PA announcer's nightmare.
Yep, indeed.
Got to hit him with the big paws in the middle.
Yep.
Just for clarity, not to be that guy. Just for clarity, where are we classifying Shohei in terms of on our infielder, outfielder, pitcher? How's that falling for us?
You're still stuck with having to get all 3, Cowboy.
Okay, hey, I completely respect that. I have no problem with that. Although it did really, really tempt me to make kind of a wild pick here. I know there's a lot of good options, but position scarcity obviously is a thing. It's a rough position on your body, but I say if there was ever a time to do it, now's the time to do it. I'm going to pair young, spry Shohei Ohtani with another young, spry catcher, the best in the league. Give me Cal Raleigh.
No, I thought you were going to go Patrick Bailey there.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Defense keeps you on the field, folks.
Well, I was thinking about going with Buster Posey, but
yeah,
I didn't. We don't have a GM slot in this.
No, the front office mock draft is next week. So
I see.
Wonderful.
So that'll be an exciting show. Be sure to tune in, folks. All right, you made it 2. You run it back. You got.
Yeah,
Ohtani.
I'd love to.
You got Raleigh. What do you got?
Yeah. Well, I'm loving that. I'm getting a lot of kind of current production here. There's a lot of old arms on the board, but I'm gonna go with a personal favorite of mine. Man, you guys are gonna say, man, this is way too early, but we've seen the top end of this guy's production, and I just think that it's still there. I think first year back healthy after his big injury. So I'm going to go with a guy that I think is going to be knocking on the door of a Cy Young. Obviously, Skeen's going to be tough to dethrone, but I'm going to take young Spencer Strider here.
More like Spencer Thider.
That boy.
There you go. So.
Is it getting hot in here again or what?
Yeah. All right, RS2.
So
plenty of pop in this lineup. Judge and Kurtz. What else we got?
Yeah, we're going to go. We want to balance it out a little bit. I'm glad you're kind of thinking the same thing. I'm going to take Christopher Sanchez here. I think the outfield defense is going to be a lot better for the Phillies this year. Scott's not listening. That's okay. But I'm going to go Christopher Sanchez.
So, all right. Flagship station, RS1.
We're back to the prime team. I wanted to take this guy at my last pick. I thought I could wait a little bit, and I did. I'm going to take the discount here around this pick. I think it looks like that's kind of where we're getting to. I'm going to go Francisco Lindor.
Lindor, love it. Another guy who can win an MVP in any given year. All right. You beta 3 now on the board.
And you beta 3.
By the way, for those scoring at home or even if you're alone, you beta 3. We were supposed to be joined by yet another guest, friend of the show, Rich Ubeda, who bailed on us last minute. So we appreciate that. So Rich Ubeda, shout out. Thanks for not showing up. All right. What do we got for Ubeda 3? We got Bobby Witt Jr. We got Yamamoto. I feel like you got Ubeda 3. You got a team of guys who could win their respective, end of season awards, but won't.
Yeah, that's probably fair. I'm going to take another guy that's got a ton of talent, hasn't really put it together for a full season yet, I think. I'm going to go Kyle Tucker here. I think you get a boost from the LA lineup, and I think he's going to have a big season.
Yeah, Tucker, when I did the same thing when I did the Dynasty outfield rankings, I kind of just kept moving him up the board ahead of guys that I like better context neutral than I like Tucker. But I just don't see how that guy doesn't fall into somewhere in the order of like runs plus RBI of like 240, something like that. I mean, it's just crazy. Yeah, that's a lot of scoring. So anyway, speaking of climaxing, or wait, what? SS2, what do we got?
So this is easily my favorite team of all the teams that I'm helming here. And so I'm going to go with a guy that I have actually been I've been a bit of a doubter on his actual on-field ability, but the persona, the talent exists. Whether it comes out or not, it's a question. But the talent, he's got the personality. He's in the right city. He pairs extremely well with Ronald Acuna Jr. Come on down. You like jazz?
Yeah, fantastic. Okay. Yeah, no, I like it. I actually, I'm not sure. You said that you're not sure. I mean, I don't know that I question the on-field talent. I question the on-field. Right. Like, in other words, I mean, like when he's there, he's generally pretty darn good. He's just not always there. But he actually, and this is important in Dynasty mock draft, is heading into a contract year. So could be set for, his first really big season where he, goes out, plays 145, 150 games, goes 40-40. That is something that I'm sure Scout will find immensely valuable as we head into seasons and seasons beyond of our Dynasty mock draft. We're going to pause for just a quick second, folks, and we'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. And I'm sure you guys were waiting with bated. So, all right, the DW3 team, the Dwayne Wade team, has got Tarek Skubal. It's got Logan Gilbert. It could use some lumber. So we're going to go with my pick for National League MVP, none other than Rafi Devers.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, and now the DW2 team, also friend of the show, Dave Wolper. Paul Skeens and Logan Webb, a couple of great arms. We need a bat. When you need a bat, there's nowhere better to look than one Corbin Carroll.
Can he even lift a bat right now?
What's that?
I said, can he even lift a bat right now?
Yeah, well, actually, I read a report today that he is expected to be back possibly in time for opening day. So there we go.
That's it's right around 6 weeks, right? So
yeah,
you got a little bit of a discount on Lindor, maybe a little bit of discount on Carroll, like we're seeing here. You got some guys that could go 40-40, 30-30, what have you.
Right. The only trick is that with the hamate is essentially what befell, that and Manny Machado are what befell Dustin Pedroia's career. And so obviously there's always a question of whether the power is going to return. It's certainly in season 1 anyway.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then the Ubeda 1, the flagship team of the town of Havana. We're going with, we've got Crochet, we've got Brown. So once again, we've locked up our arms. So we're going to go with my pick for, not joking, folks, this is not just a sensationalist mock draft thing. My pick for American League MVP. The question is, he comes into town like a conqueror, but what has he conquered? What has he accomplished?
I don't know.
Roman Anthony.
Wow. You're too old to be doing all that stretching, Dave.
Yes. So, all right. Moving right along, RS3.
RS3 on the clock. We got a nice left side of the infield here. We could use a pitcher, perhaps. Maybe a little early. I think the upside there is to be top 10, certainly, maybe top 5 in the league, maybe challenge for a Cy Young. We're going to take Cole Reagans for this team.
Okay. That leads us to the SS3.
SS3. This is. I said the last team that my SS2 team was my favorite. That's because it's got my favorite player on it. I really like this one, not just because of the second generation player motif, but I just really like the squad. And so I feel like I need an arm here to not just totally fall behind on that side of things. And I'm looking at the board, and a name that jumps out to me, maybe a surprise to everyone, but a guy that I bemoaned the recent team move that he did for obvious reasons and some not so obvious ones. But I think a really, really good name for this team is one Max, a guy who has shown up as quite durable of late. When it seemed like that may have begin to elude him, a part of that band of Braves pitchers that picked up off the scrap heap from other teams, turned into great pitchers, and then the injuries caught back up. But I'm trusting it now. So love you, Max. Miss you in Atlanta. Go lead SS3 to a mock championship.
Wouldn't that be sweet? Then you could drink some mock champagne.
Yeah.
You could wear a mock turtleneck.
I feel like Max Fried's more of a mocktail kind of guy.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, all right, DW1 flagship team. We've got our outfielder, Julio. We've got our infielder, Ellie De La Cruz. So we need a starting pitcher. There's some names on the board that are perhaps, what's a good word? More chalk, I guess, this guy, but I firmly believe this guy's in for the best year of his career, and I don't think it's going to be especially close. So I am going to issue a cease and desist order in draft day one. So, boo.
Great defense. You think the peripherals are indicating a little bit better luck than he should get, although that's happened a lot of times for him. So, certainly could be there for best season career year.
There was an interesting nugget in my in one of the articles I wrote in the offseason. I think it was veteran pitchers to invest in Dynasty. The move to Toronto, big, I think, for Dylan Cease. Their pitching coach focuses on in-zone fastball command, which has been a bugaboo for Cease. And Jose Barrios, when he moved from Minnesota to Toronto, picked up something like 3 percentage points of in-zone fastball strikes. So, Cease, all he has to do is improve just a little bit on the control, and he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. So there we go. All right. We've got Caminero. We've got Churio. Let's go.
Let's see. Oh, I was sitting here looking at the board. What jumps out at me? I really would love to take an arm. I got 2 picks here. Maybe I will. Let's see. But I want to get a little bit. I think there's a lot of thump in this lineup already. But let's get some really, really reliable thump and go with one Pete Alonso.
Perfect. No. Nothing like drafting a bust in the 3rd round. I love it.
He's just got that. He's got that thing that I think he's going to be hitting home runs for several more years. I don't. His power is one that's not very team dependent. And we all know that Baltimore is famous for signing guys who can hit 50 home runs and then be out of baseball like 10 years later. So
Fair enough.
There you go. Man, it'd be really, really tempting to try to take like a Manny Machado, Zach Neto. There's a lot of O's left here.
You can show me your O face.
Yeah. There is Jesus Luzardo.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to go with an arm. I want to stay young with this squad. A guy that you and I were actually discussing today, Mr. Whitcomb. I think there may be better ceilings or maybe better floors out there, but the ceiling is undeniable. Give me young Hunter Green.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. Can I share my Hunter Green fun fact real quick?
Please do.
Hunter Green, the number 2 pick of the 2017 Major League Baseball draft, has 25 career pitcher wins. The number 5 pick of the 2017 Major League Baseball draft has 24 career pitcher wins. That pitcher is none other than Kyle Wright, who hasn't made a Major League start in over 800 days. So good on Hunter Green. All right, DW1 flagship station. We've got our infielder, we've got our outfielder, we've got our starting pitcher. We are free to go wherever we like. I'm going to pick one of my favorite players in baseball. Nothing super exciting going on here. He's just reliable as can be. Not exactly sure how I feel about him in a dynasty type format. Those of you who have been kicking up with the Hometown 9 series on Fantasy Six Pack know that as far as I'm concerned, dynasty is 3-year window because predicting anything beyond 3 years out is a complete and total fool's errand. But I'm going to go ahead and select not the pot, but the Ketel Marte.
Oh, boy.
All right.
So SS3 back on the clock. Same thing. I've got infield, outfield, pitcher. Can go anywhere I want. Looking at this list, I got plenty of. Got a lot of across the board producers here. So not just from positional standpoint, but from production standpoint. The world is my oyster. So let's go with a little bit of empty thump and just say, hey, from pure power perspective, this is as good as it's going to get at this spot right here. So give me Kyle Schwarber.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, SS3 going with a Philly. How do you feel about that?
I think it makes sense for the team. Hard to pass him up there. You get 40, 50 home runs. Yep. I think it's a smart pick.
Yeah, Schwarber's going to be, incidentally, not to go Jason Stark on you guys, but Schwarber's going to be a fascinating Hall of Fame case.
I don't think so at all.
His player type doesn't necessarily always age well, so that'll be the question.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, if he strings together, 3 or 4 more seasons of, like you just said, Rich, 35, 45 home runs, just on the counting stats standpoint, he sure is going to warrant awfully strong consideration. Anyway,
I think it's more than 3 or 4.
Mock startup. So, Rich Sayre, what do you got?
Well, I think this team, we got a strong infield start. I think we might keep it in the infield here, and we might keep it in Philadelphia. We're going to go Bryce Harper.
Interesting. Okay. I got nothing to say about Bryce Harper. He's just good. Where is he? That's another question altogether. Read my Dynasty first base article. Hometown 9 first base article is a fun take on Bryce Harper and their fun comp to a player who's not in the Hall of Fame. Not to say that Bryce Harper's not going to make the Hall of Fame, but let's just say if he ages like the player that I comped him to, he might not. But he probably will. All right. I've got 2 pitchers and I've got an outfielder with this team. So we've gone Crochet and Brown, and then we've gone with the American League MVP Roman Anthony. So we need an infielder. And when you need an infielder, you draft glove first. So I'm going to stick with Bryce's, and I'm going Terang.
Yeah.
So that leads us to the DW2 team. Same thing. We've got a couple pair of pitchers, Schemes and Webb. And we've got Corbin Carroll, who is, let's just say, questionable to start the season. Maybe is a good way of putting it. So we could use a reliable bat. Frankly, there are a few more reliable bats as long as you throw out the outlier season where you hit, I think it was Scott, you could tell me 47 home runs. Is that right? There's not a twin, but I'm still going to take Matt Olson.
There we go.
So, all right, and that leads us to my flagship team. Is not the DW1 team, but the DW3 team, the Dwayne Wade team. So we've got Scooble, and we've got Gilbert, and we've got Rafi Devers. So we need an outfielder. And I know he slumped. Well, slumped is putting it gently. I know he was god awful in the second half last year. But again, defense wins championships. He's young, can still consolidate in talent. And, how can you pass on a guy who dyes his hair blue? So we're going down the PCA draft Armstrong. Incidentally, in fact, not very many people know this. Pete Crow Armstrong is actually Lance Armstrong and Sheryl Crow's son.
No, come on. Yeah, you're right. Not that many.
And the reason not many people know that is because it's not true. But
Yeah.
yeah. So, all right, SS2. What do we got?
SS2. Again, whether it's a flagship team or not, who knows? But it is the team that carries my heart. Again, I've gotten infield, outfield, pitcher out of the way, so I can go any direction that I want here. And I tell you, one thing that this team is missing is some good veteran leadership. And so, we like to talk about perennial MVP candidates. A guy that our own Dave Whitcomb has been on the record as saying he believes is the best player in baseball. Don't know if he still holds to that, but pretty recently we've had that conversation. So I'm going to go with the best bowler in Major League Baseball, Marcus Lindbetz.
Ah,
Yeah. That's. I guess I can't really stick to my guns on the best player in baseball anymore, but he was for a period of time. I'll stick to that. And how about this for a warm-ish take? If both of them retired during this show, we all missed the Twitter alert that Mookie Betts and Bryce Harper held a mutual press conference and they both retired. Mookie Betts is a more worthy Hall of Famer than Bryce Harper is.
easily.
I don't know who would argue with that necessarily.
Bryce Harper.
Sure.
I don't know. He's a pretty self-aware guy, I think.
Yeah. So, all right. Ubeta 3, who's running this ship?
That is me. We're gonna go. I think we're excited about getting young player, a lot of power here, a little bit of a position scarcity issue. I'm going to say we're a 2-catcher league. I don't know if that's true or not, or if we've been talked about that at the beginning of the show, but I'm going to take Shea Langoliers here. Langoliers. Yes, sir.
Yeah, projected or bold called, so to speak, sort of, on last week's episode where we're doing our West Division bold predictions. I don't know if you recall, Rich, but I said that Nick Kurtz would not lead the Athletics in home runs, and rather it would be Langoliers. So I love the pick. Flagship station, RS1.
So it's getting a little interesting. This is a little maybe divergent part of the draft here. We haven't taken a pitcher yet, so we probably want to look at that from a maybe a little bit of a reach, but again, the upside, as much upside, maybe as anyone here. This is a dynasty startup. We're going to go with this pick for our NL East RS1 team. We're going to go Yuri Perez.
Oh, wow. There you go. Yuri Perez, that's a bold prediction at 4.10.
Ace upside, but maybe we would have taken someone else. I was a little bit feeling it more for the Judge team, which is who's up right now. Some people have talked about this guy as an NL Cy Young possibility this year. Maybe a little bit early, but we don't think so here. We're going to go with our next pick. Since this is a dynasty startup, we're going to go Chase Burns.
Yeah, I love it. Love Chase Burns. Chase Burns is, in my opinion, and Rich, you've espoused the same opinion, is got a decent shot at going Spencer Strider rookie year on the league this year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So they talk about, he only has 2 pitches. He actually has introduced, I think, a couple more this spring. I don't even know if he needs them, but certainly I don't know if he's not going to get the innings volume, but 150 innings and 230 strikeouts is off the board. 230 might be a big number. Let's go
200 plus, yeah.
So anyway, Ubeda 2 closing out the 4th round.
Yeah, so it was funny as you were talking about Chase Burns, who I also love and echo all the things that you guys are saying. I think he's poised for a monster year. However, as you were describing, I was afraid you were talking about the guy that I'm going to pick, who a lot of these same kinds of things apply. Young guy, maybe a little early, but showed a flash of it last year. Kind of got figured out a little bit, but when the guys are this young, with this kind of physical talent, with this kind of, with these kind of results, I do subscribe to the Sayre. Once you show a skill, you possess it forever. Mm-hmm. So I believe in this guy being able to repeat what he did when he first broke into the league, and possibly for a long, long time. Young stud pitcher that I think has all those same upsides as Chase Burns, and that is one Mr. Jake Mizorowski.
Mm-hmm. Hey, a little early for a reliever, but go for it. All right, no, and now Ubeda 2, we are starting our final round, the 5th round. You owe us an outfielder shirt, so you're a little boxed in here. So
sure do. Well, and outfield, from a dynasty perspective, there's a lot of youth. There's a lot of different options here. We've got the I guess technically the 50-50 potential with Ohtani. We've got the average.
I'm sorry, I was just that. I think there's better than 50-50 chance he plays.
We've got the arms, the young arms. We've got the pop and the average out of Cal Raleigh. So, I think we could take a little bit of a wild card. Man, I wish if Byron Buxton was a decade younger, man, he'd be such a great pick right here. So instead, I'm going to go with, a guy that, not to say that it's over, in terms of the ceiling that we once thought, because it's certainly there, and this is the team we can afford it on. But, man, I don't love this pick as much as I probably should, and that is a guy who I think could be my stolen bases anchor. Again, physical talent, freak physically. Maybe that's what we'll call this team. We'll call this team like the Monstars or something. O'Neal Cruz, come on down.
Okay. So back-to-back picks, a reliever and a platoon player. Love it. Nothing like strengthening your team early in a dynasty mock startup. R.S.2, your last pick for your team, for this particular team, rather. What do you got, sir?
Yes, so we got Judge as the anchor here. Fantastic way to start. We're going a little bit younger with the last couple picks, and this turned into my favorite team with these last 2 picks. 2 of my favorite players to have in Dynasty, if you happen to have them. The man of the hour, a lot of conversation on Twitter right now. We are taking at this spot Mr. Connor Griffin.
Oh, wow. Interesting. So our last 3 picks, a reliever, a platoon player, and a minor leaguer. Interesting.
So yeah, you could revisit that at All-Star break. We'll see.
Right? Yeah. No, You know I kid. No, actually, Rich, you super quick before you get to your next pick. You and I have had this discussion, but it's a fun, quick one to rehash here. Many people, I guess, the prevailing assumption is the Pirates will, quote unquote, even regardless of what Griffin does in spring training, they're going to manipulate his service time and they're going to, hold him down and whatever. And I don't believe that at all. I believe Bob Nutting is a greedy bastard. And recognizes that Griffin will sell tickets, and also recognizes that he's not going to re-sign Skeens or Griffin because that would involve him spending any of his money. And so he's just going to put them both on the field and sell as many tickets as possible while he still has them under team control. And then they'll be playing for the Dodgers in 6 years. All right, what do we got for the flagship station, RS1?
That would be my biggest hesitation with the Griffin pick is I do think that he will be held back. He is a greedy owner. He is a cheap owner. There's really, I don't know who's going to debate that by saying they signed Ryan O'Hearn this season. Wow. He wants an extra year of this guy. He's already selling tickets with Skeens. I don't think you're going to see him until maybe the Paul Skeens timeline. But anyway, we can talk about that another show. This has become what looks to be the NL East team, as I just mentioned. So we're going to go, we took Yuri Perez. There's a lot of upside there. Maybe feel great about that pick. I do have another young player for a dynasty startup as a pitcher. Also with a ton of upside that I really love for this season, and that is going to be Nolan McLean.
Oh, wow. Man. The youth abound.
This is a dynasty startup, right?
It is a dynasty startup. That's true. That is true. And those are due precocious young talents for sure. So, all right. Fair enough. What do you got for us? Ubeta 3.
And then Ubeta 3, I can't believe he's still here. Again, for a dynasty startup, I would be pretty excited to grab this guy at this point. I think he's also in line for a big season, another season of improvement. We will take at this spot Wyatt Langford.
He did great. Who we got? SS2.
So Wyatt Langford was a guy who I kind of had my eye on. And the more I look at this roster here, the more not only do I love it, but I just think, man, this team is so cool. Like if you wanted to hang out with a group of guys that just are just as cool as it gets, man, what a squad this would be. And so I don't want to break that up.
Scott, I got to give you that one. That's actually pretty damn accurate.
I don't want to ruin that. Don't want to take some cornball like Brandon Nimmo or some milquetoast guy.
I was going to say Nimmo.
Don't want to take some milquetoast guy as much as I love him and like somebody like Taylor Ward. So I'm going to do it. You guys can just complain about it in the comments if you want to. I'm going to pair him with his other swaggy teammate, Michael Harris II. Come on down and bring on the swag squad.
Okay. Okay. That's as much as I have to say about that pick. Let's see. The Dwayne Wade team. Tarek Skubal and Logan Gilbert dominating on the mound. Rafi Devers hitting bombs into McCovey Cove. Pete Armstrong flagging down everything that Skubal and Gilbert are not striking out. So what do we need here? We are free to choose what we like. I am going to take here. We could use some help up the middle. And I am a big believer in his breakout, I guess you call it last year. It was definitely a breakout last year. I believe it's totally sustainable. This is a points league, not a rotisserie league, because rotisserie leagues are dumb. So we're going to go with Geraldo Perdomo.
Fascinating.
All right. And then the DW2 team. So the DW2 team, again, Skeens and Webb, just locking it down on the mound. Corbin Carroll, locking it down in the cast. Matt Olson, hitting bombs into The chop yard. What the hell is that called, Scott?
The Chop House.
The chop house. Thank you. I was like, it's not the chop yard. All right. So same kind of thing. We could use some help with the up the middle. We could use somebody who can pick it. So we're gonna go ahead and grab another young player, pride of South Florida of FIU, if I remember correctly. Anyway, Zach Neto.
Stud.
Very good. Yep.
So, all right. And is this my no? This is my second. Okay, I was saying this is my last pick at all. I'm getting a little sentimental here. But no, it is my second last. So we got Crochet and Brown. So once again, oh no, this is not. No, yeah, Crochet and Brown. Yep, I've got the American League MVP in Roman Anthony. I've got He's So Fine, Bryce Terang. Like for those of you who remember doo-wop songs, Terang, Terang, Terang. Okay. Nobody gets that reference. So we, this team could use a little thunder. And so not necessarily a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for here? Not necessarily a lot of thunder on the board that's shown on the page of me. Jordan Alvarez is there. I don't believe that guy's going to play anything anywhere near a full season ever again, unfortunately. Brent Rooker's there. I love Brent Rooker on Twitter. I less love Brent Rooker as a pick right here. So I am going to go with another personal favorite, even though I just said I need power. I'm just going with the best player as far as I'm concerned, is hitter-wise on the board. And I'm going to go Michael Garcia for this team.
Wow.
Oh, Michael Garcia, by the way. Our central show you missed, Scott, with guest host Sean Fenty, who stepped out on a huge limb and projected J.J. Weatherholt and Detroit guy. Rich, help me out here.
McGonigal.
Ken McGonigal, thank you, to win their respective Rookie of the Year awards. Those were his bold predictions, even though they're both in Vegas odds. Those were huge, bold predictions by Sean Fenty. Anyway, on that same show, though, I did predict Michael Garcia to lead all third basemen in Fangraphs WAR. So perhaps a slightly bolder prediction than Kevin McGonigal and J.J. Weatherholt. So anyway, enough making fun of Sean. Is there ever enough making fun of Fenty?
Somebody mentioned a lot of the metrics are similar to Jose Ramirez when he was coming up. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. It definitely wasn't Sean. Rich, what do we got?
So I'm excited to close this out. I need an outfielder on this team. I think this is a really pretty well balanced team. We got some great players at each spot. Players I'm really excited about. I'm going to take a guy here that I near and dear to my heart, so to speak. I think he's undervalued since the past season. Had a fantastic year 2 seasons ago. I think he can get back to that. May not have that same volume if he's not playing every day. If he's more against righties, but I'm gonna go out a little bit on a limb here, and I'm gonna take my guy for this team, Jarren Duran.
Yeah. His name is real. Duran reference. Okay. Anyway,
there you go.
All right. No, Jarren Duran. I forget who it was that I was talking to about Jarren Duran and about. Oh, it was actually a friend of the show, Larry Flume. And he was talking about whether Duran might, kind of saying he was echoing some of the same concern about whether he might lose some playing time or whatever. And I just don't see it. Duran is, arguably the best hitter in that whole lineup, short of Roman Anthony. I just don't know how you fit that guy. Is I guess what I'm trying to say.
I think it'll sort itself out. Yeah, I think he'll play more often than not. Again, maybe not every single game like he did a couple of years ago, but I think the volume will be enough.
Right. So, all right, SS3, we've chewed up a minute of your time. What do you got for us?
It's no worries because I have my pick already chalked up.
Nice.
And I like that we've had some picks that weren't from kind of the typical spot on the board. Because I'm going to go with a guy here. As I look over this team, I'm thinking about one of the things about this team is they're a lot of these guys have had lulls in their career. Some have been injury induced, some have been suspension induced, some have been a guy who just stopped figuring, who forgot how to hit the ball in the air for a little bit. Different things, but these are all like late career, late in quotation marks, resurgence guys. So I'm going to go with one of my favorite resurgence picks here, a guy that Dave Whitcomb knows that I love, and that is one Kyle Bradish.
Yeah, I like Kyle Bradish a lot. Recently submitted for review article Kyle Bradish made. I mean, again, I'm not going to give away the number. You can read the article, and I would encourage you to. It's kind of like, my articles are kind of like Playboy magazine. You read them for the articles, but yeah, no, Bradish made the top 18 Dynasty starting pitchers. So all right, DW1 closing out the flagship station. We have got a starting pitcher, an outfielder, a middle infield. I think we could use somebody else on the bump here. So we're gonna go with none other than I don't know. I think one of the more undervalued assets in all of baseball. Just because he's so damn boring and he pitches in a boring city and pitches for what is now a terrible team, R.I.P. Pablo Lopez. I'm going to go with Joe Ryan. So, and then we've got Mr. Irrelevant. And for once, I'm not referring to you, Scott. I'm referring to your pick.
So this was my youth team. This is my team of young guys and Pete Alonso. I don't know how he ended up in the middle of that there, but I'd like to keep that youth thing going, and I'm going to go a different direction than anybody else has gone any of these, because there is a guy here who, for age and talent level, just clearly sticks out when you scroll down this list at all positions, but especially at this position. Just a guy who I think is going to be an absolute weapon in this league for years to come. Finally going to get an opportunity on a team that's pretty decent, with a manager that's solid enough, and just a team context that may give him an opportunity to really, really shine. Not that he's lacked that thus far in his career, but counting stats at least, this will be his opportunity to really start stacking those up. I'm going to go with the fireballer that we all love, Mason Miller.
Oh,
it's Samus.
Got on board. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's pause the old mock draft deal. Okay, perfect. So that's our 5-round Dynasty startup mock draft. What we're going to do now, just real quick, I want to close this out with one player each. Surprised that you didn't get drafted at all. Like, in other words, just a guy who's still on the board. Well, we drafted a total of 60 players for a Dynasty startup, and this guy didn't get drafted. I'm pretty surprised by that. Who you got, Rich?
Who do I got, Rich?
I like putting you on the spot because you're literally never ready.
Yeah, well,
when we do our regular drafts, he's always like, "Oh my god, it's my turn."
You got the injury question mark. The talent, I think, is undeniable. I scroll down here a little bit. I see Corey Seager still in the free agent pile. And that's could be a foundational piece if he could stay healthy. Hasn't happened a lot, but that's somebody that sticks out to me.
Okay, fair enough. Scotty Natsuhati, what do you got?
Yeah, I same kind of thing, think about injury consideration, but, seeing that 2 catchers came off the board and that neither one of them was William Contreras is a really, really interesting thing. Obviously, I took one of those catchers, but I took Cal Raleigh. So, just a guy who is still young, who has shown that he's got all the skills that you could ever dream of in a catcher. And so, that'd be a guy that I would imagine, would be pretty high on priority lists if this draft was to continue.
Yeah, that's fair. I posed the question and then I'm not ready to answer the question. That's fine. Let me just look this over super quick.
While you're looking at that, I will just throw this out there. I looking at this list is one thing that we're going to say, and Rich may have saved us with a few 11th hour picks, but anyone who looks at this list is going to cry and scream and say, you did a dynasty startup and hardly any prospects were taken. But I think we all, to some degree, subscribe to the Dave Whitcomb mantra, which is, when we play in dynasty leagues, we're all hoarding prospects and we're always looking for that next guy that's going to step up and be the guy. But man, everything happens so fast. Everything changes so fast.
Yeah.
And it is so hard to scroll down a list of all these proven assets. And especially these guys, it's not like there's tons, Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, there's a few, but it's not like there's a bunch of 40-year-old guys on this list. These are guys that are in their early to mid 30s. In a lot of cases, younger than that, guys that, if you really want to say, hey, what is it going to look like 10 years from now? Man, none of these guys are going to be on any of these rosters 10 years from now.
Yeah.
I just, everyone loves the rebuild. Everyone loves, I sat back for years and years and I accumulated and all that kind of stuff. Everyone that plays in our home league knows, I believe that every year you should be trying to win. It's just the essence of football. I don't like spending an entire year not going after that goal. And so, I think for anybody who's going to say, man, where's all the prospects? Hey, if you want to go prospect heavy, that's cool. But I want to have a team that's worth watching,
Yeah, no, absolutely. Actually just scanned the 60 picks, and this is not official, so don't yell at me at home, folks, if I'm wrong. But I think the oldest player we drafted is Mookie Betts, who is 34, if I'm not mistaken. So, again, in our dynasty, 3-year window that I sort of, again, ascribe to or whatever, or subscribe to the. Anyway, bottom line is, I guess, I echo the same sentiment. But anyway, player that's on the board that didn't get drafted, that now that I look, am surprised it didn't get drafted. None other than Jackson Barrell. Very, very much a favorite of the best play-by-play man in baseball, Don Orsillo. And Jackson Barrell is just a super, super exciting young talent in San Diego. I think a fun comp for him. You guys, those of you who listen to our show or read any of my articles, if you're still awake, will know that I like coming up with fun and relatively obscure comps. Not obscure, but like specific comps. Jackson Merrill, I think, might be like if Steve Finley had stayed healthy. So that's one heck of a ball player. So Jackson Merrill, young, good, undrafted. There you go. So, all right, that concludes the Two Guys One Roto Dynasty Startup Mock Draft. Any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I kind of stumped, what already got on my soapbox, which is, try to win. If you're in a dynasty league and you look at your team and it kind of stinks, I get it, but man, there's always those San Francisco Giants waiver type guys out there. You can fill a team with Lamont Wade Juniors and things like that, and man, I just go after it. Prospects are cool, but man, banners hang forever.
Yeah. So, Rich, Sayre, what do you got, sir?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I'm the prospect guy. I get caught up in it as well. But the best move, if you're in doubt, is probably to move your prospects.
Yeah, no doubt. I was actually talking to a legitimate friend of the show, Jeff Breckelbaum, just yesterday. I don't remember exactly what he was being offered, but he was being offered something awfully tempting for Lazaro Montes, who probably 2 years ago you could have had darn near any veteran in the league for. Not to say that, Montez's prospect, shine is completely off, but certainly he's lost some luster. And now kind of to your point, Rich, when you have the opportunity to grab I don't know who a good example is, but whatever, a George Springer. If you're in contention and you can move Montez for Springer, yes, do that. Go win a championship and then worry about grab the next Montez. But
don't trade Connor Griffin. I'll leave you.
But don't trade Connor Griffin. Yes. Or
hold on to your Garrett Crochets.
Or Nolan McLean, or Yuri Perez, or Chase Burns. Anyway, but yeah, all right. So that's gonna wrap up the show. We appreciate everybody joining us, and we'll see you again next week. Bye, y'all.